How we all going? It's Cole Embry. I'm back again. Got my old work shirt on tonight. Yeah, I'll stop mentioning the shirts now. You'll all just take notice what I got on. It won't matter what I got on. Sometimes I got no shirt on. Sometimes I got a shirt on. But yeah. But anyway, tonight's subject is tactics. Over the years I've had some people pull some good tactics on me. At the time I didn't realise it, but yeah. Now as I'm travelling on my journey, I recognise them for what they are and just move on. So yeah. The first time I actually really realised that I was having a tactic pulled on me, I was at an open at Inala, and I was playing this fellow, I won't mention who he was, and I'm playing and I'm like up 3-0 or something like that. I think it was first to 5, and I might have even been 4-0. Then he's going cheat behind me, and I'm thinking, what have I done wrong? And looked at the scoreboard, everything's right, and next minute he's won a couple of legs, and I'm thinking, oh, I've seen what you're up to. You would put me off my game so you could get into it. So yeah, I eventually end up winning, but yeah, so that was my first experience with tactics. Do whatever you can to win, and yeah, because I've had people tap the darts behind me or eat chips or something like that, but that's just lack of concentration. But yeah, when you can actually hear someone saying something and you think it's directed towards you, it does put you off your game, because I've got high standards myself. I would never cheat to win a game. I would never take a score that I hadn't hit, or hit it if someone hits a double. Like what happened with Phil Taylor. To me, I would have just, I couldn't have accepted that match knowing that. So yeah. And the next time I had something like that pulled on me, I was playing up at a mixed comp, a zone comp. I think it was zone 5 or something like that up at Gin. And yeah, this fella was behind me saying, you might win the game, I'll win the fight. You'll win the game, you might win the game, I'll win the fight. Because I had tactics pull on me before, I said, yeah, well, you want to hope so. You might lose them both. Of course, that was basically chucking his tactic back in his face, and that infuriated him, so he put himself off his game more, even though he was the sort of bloke that got pumped up. The more pissed off he got, but yeah, I think he's over-tried. But at the end of the day, I just chucked it back in his face. So yeah, over the years I've done things that after I've done them I was thinking, well, I'm lucky. I could have got killed doing that, but yeah, because I'm not scared of anyone. No one scares me. But like Bert Ridgway used to always say, I've got big balls, and, in meaning I stand up for myself in that aspect. But yeah. Because there was a time I was playing in a comp in Westmorton, and this fella had double 10 left, and his last start he hit a 10, which is fair enough. He missed, and I had my shot and I missed, and then he walked up and he hit double 10, even though he had 10 left, and the scorer said check dart. And yeah, I ended up walking out of that comp because to me that's just outright cheating, and he didn't really care. He just win at any cost, But that's the sort of respect people have to pay you sometimes. They have to cheat to beat you. At the time I didn't think it was respect, I just thought it was cheating, but yeah, I was hard to beat as I got better and better, so yeah, because I just never give up, even though I might get flogged for 2 or 3 legs. I will always be trying, and they know that. And there was another time I could have actually I reckon I could have got killed this time, because this fellow, he was a real big musty bloke. He was a concreter, and we were at a rep game, and we were talking about a final that was coming up on a Thursday night over in the Pine Rivers comp, and we had a very good side. I was in Simon Whitlock's side, and and I just says, you just won't win, you've got no chance, and they had a very good side. And yeah, he wanted to come across the table and grab me and kill me because I just turned it back on them again, told them, that they had no chance when they were telling me I had none. They could dish it, but they couldn't take it. Anyway, the result of that is when we come to the final, I was worried about I was going to get my head knocked off, but I just thought, no, you made your bet, you got to go lay in it. So I went and took my medicine. That night I lost all my singles that night because all of them, they were really keen to beat me, to prove me wrong that they were going to beat us. But they were the only 4 games we lost. We ended up winning 16-4. So once again, I was right, and well, not once again, I was right. They had no chance because we had a very good team as well. So yeah. And that was in Pine Rivers, and I had another episode in Pine Rivers where this fella was playing Dave Gladback, and Dave beat him, and I was already in the final, and this fella, I walked out of the toilets and he actually wanted to fight me because he lost, because I think, I don't know what he was thinking, but yeah, he thought that he should have been in the final, and he said that I was thinking this and thinking that, and I was glad to see him lose, and actually I wasn't. I wanted to play him because, I want to play the best players. I don't want to play, there's nothing wrong with Dave Gladback. Dave Gladback's a good player, but at that time I wanted to play this fella because I've never beaten him, and I have actually beaten him now, but up until then I hadn't, and yeah, if I haven't beaten someone, I want to beat them. I'll do whatever I have to on the practice board, practice until I beat them. So yeah, and there's also other tactics. People slow you down, but that's just a mark of respect to you. But they have to give it their all to beat you, because they know they can't beat you at when you're at your best. So they just need to slow you down to try and either A, make you nervous, or B, give themselves a better chance of winning. In the end, when I used to slow players down, it was, people would have seen it as a tactic, but I've seen it as my way, which I'll share with you on confidence in the next one, was to get the best out of myself. So, yeah, I'm aware of tactics. I've done tactics on players before. I don't tend to do it nowadays. If I was playing now, I'd let my darts do the talking and not tactics, because that's when you're playing tactics, you're not giving 100% of yourself, and that's what I realised over the years, that you're only really fooling yourself. If a tactic might work once, might work twice, but you're not performing at your best, and so then you're not being true to yourself. So you just might as well not worry about tactics. Just give you 100%, the best you can be of you, and you never ever have to worry about tactics. You can recognise them when they're happening, but don't let it put you off, because then they've done what they wanted. Just beat them, and their tactics are no good at all. So yeah, that's just my story on tactics. Okay then, my next one will be confidence. I'll talk a little bit about confidence, how I got around to building confidence and keeping it, and you'll see a lot of the good players now, how they come out confident. So just on how I did it, it might not be the way they do it, but this is what I do. So okay then, until then, I'll talk to you again. Okay, bye.